Welcome to Dyna Moments, bringing you a new dynamic for confident living with Warren Wiersbe. This ministry from Good News Broadcasting is designed to be used along with the scripture readings you'll find listed on the back of the cassette album or inside of the cassette box label. There are 31 segments in all, one for each day of the month if you wish. This series will offer you dynamic insight into Psalms 35 through 45. Psalm 35, verses 1 through 10.
And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. That was David's glad response to God's gracious deliverance from his enemies. You'll find it in Psalm 35, verse 9. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. You see, David was in trouble. There were those who were saying false things about him. They were accusing him, and they were lying about him. What did David do? Well, the first thing he did was to pray. The first thing we want to do is to fight. We want to fight back and defend our good name and protect our reputation. But David was far more concerned about his character than he was his reputation. He knew that if he was right with God, it made no difference what people did to him or said about him. And so he started with prayer. Plead my cause, O Lord, with those who strive with me. Fight against those who fight against me. You see, when the enemy fights against you, he's really fighting against the Lord. There's a good principle to lay hold of today. When the child of God is in the will of God, he can claim the help and the protection of God. David started with prayer, and David admitted his own helplessness. In Psalm 35:10, he says, All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee, who deliverest the poor from him that is too strong for him? Our enemies are far too strong for us. We have to turn them over to the Lord. David started with prayer. He admitted his own helplessness, and he turned the whole situation over to the Lord. He trusted God to work on his behalf. And God did work. You know, God will work for you today. In his time and in his way, he will accomplish what needs to be done. And by the time this day comes to an end, or whenever the opportunity might arise, you're going to say, And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord. It shall rejoice in his salvation. Not your salvation, not what you have done for yourself, but what God has done for him. I trust that today you'll have the joy of his victory in your life.